Hello and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Priestess Gorgeous. I will be your oracle today. I'm here to brief you on the daily energy for the 15th of March 2018. That's a few days before the new moon. Oh, yeah, the new moon. It's a Thursday. Jovedi. Let me silence the comments for myself. So this is going to be a little bit longer than usual. I'll get to the briefing and then I'll do a check-in. Okay? So the briefings on a day-to-day basis, they should be a minimum of 6 minutes, 30 seconds. I was doing 9. And, you know, we're working more as a temple now. Priestess Gorgeous is still here, but it's just, there's a lot coming through me instead of from me like it was in the beginning. So what we do for the daily briefing is we call out the majors. Okay, that we have the Magician, the Imperatrice, the Empress, excuse me, and Il Laghetto, the Magician. We have the Fool, Il Mondo, L'Imperatore, the Emperor, La Papessa, the High Priestess, La Temperanza, the Temperance card. So for ourselves personally, there's some new temptations. La Justicia, the Justice card. Okay. So this is on the grounds of the house. And the house means several different things because technically it's a temple card. Okay. It's the 10 of Pentacles. The deck we're using is the Sage Wizard Tarot. You can Google that. Sage Wizard Tarot deck. Tomorrow maybe I'll give the author. I don't have that on the top of my head. '15th of March. Okay, we're going in here. So first thing is coming through to me is the Fool. For us, in our energy, what's already kind of materialized in a place where we are sitting in the energy, how it's taking on, in a sense, some persona. You know, some persona is really about how we rule from the place where we call ourselves. When we're sitting in ourselves, our place in the world, and acting from that place. Okay. Right now, there's been the need for fortitude. That's the word coming through. La Temperanza. The Temperance card is really alchemy. And it's the higher aspect because it's a 5. So 5 is the principle of the body, number 1. We have an arm, a leg, a head, you know, the major appendages there. It also talks about the pentacle, the earth. Okay. It also talks about literally the spirit being in the flesh. And when I wanted to say soul, out came spirit. So the differentiation for me as a reader, the technical one here, the differentiation between a spirit and a soul is really breath. And what took me was this 5 of Swords here. I'm not calling out the minors, but we have 505. I used to live in New Mexico, so that's a message to me. But 505 is also saying, okay, we're balancing here the embodiment now. Okay, so first and foremost, I do want to say the back of the deck, so you know. I do want to say we're now getting to a point where it's not all this spiritual stuff in the background going on, okay? Now, some of this cycle is coming into the physical. We're embodying in, we're anchoring it in, we're aligning with the cycle. And what this cycle is it's the higher self, the higher spirit finding freedom, independence, an ability to go through but not be affected by whatever is going on out there. Other person, place, or thing, okay? So There's also this coming into awareness of boundaries, knowing what that means for our stability here in this physical, and being able to deal with the now and the few minutes from now, few hours from now, few moments from now, few months from now kind of aspect. The weighing up of what's in our control and what's not in our control, what we need to deal with right now, what we need to prioritize, what is urgent for us and what's important, meaning what we can compartmentalize and what will haunt us in our dreams if we put it off for another moment. All these things are coming out. And there's a lot on the table, on the menu, but it's kind of like as we learned the concept and idea, it came through, it came forward to us. It's not as if we need to be mindful and aware of the beginning and the end of everything that's going on, the relationships that we need to deal with, the work situation that's going on, how it looks for us to be here, be human, be physical, and still. I mean, this is about karma, spirit, destiny, and it has to deal with, like I said, the body coming into the flesh, coming into the temple. And I'm not talking about vertex of abundance. I'm talking about literally the 10 of, all the 10s for me are temple cards. 10 of cups, 10 of pentacles specifically. One talks about the spiritual self and one talks about the physical self. So how you build and sustain the evolution of your soul through spiritual incarnation, the changes that need to come to that, and how you deal with those situations out in the world, how that brings you to your independence, to your freedom, to the will to participate in humanity, but from a higher sense. What does that look like? What does that involve? Well, it involves accepting what's happened, the things that have happened to you, the ugly experiences, the people that have done mean things to you, the people that have done horrible things to you that may have harmed you physically, the times when you've had shame and deep embarrassment and sorrow, right? What those happen, like when you can't pay a bill, or when you get caught for something, or when you feel just utterly betrayed and you really don't have the moment to go forward. Those places where we've had to stare the devil in the face and we realize that the devil at that time lived alive in us. Okay, so it's like that deep, dark journey of the soul kind of acceptance. And it's saying, really, wherever we have just been able to recognize and own the healing that is needed and the space that we need to be a little bit tender about cold hard truths. Three of Swords, healing from that. Four of Swords, acceptance of the pain that we've experienced, relationship wise, emotional, mental, spiritual, otherwise, physical, financial. Okay, and the willingness to continue experience, learning from what we've just, I'm hearing the word received, I wanted to say experienced. So receiving is really, that's an emotional process. Okay, when you receive the physical acknowledgement of karmic cycles, meaning what needs to happen is an awareness of the emotion. No, I'm condensing that down. Okay, believe it or not, how we teach in the temple, emotions are physical. Emotions are what presses upon the soul, and it is the manifestation of karma. It is the bringing into the physical, or mirroring the spirit, the universe mirroring back to you your karma. And that happens or gets disallowed and moved out of through emotional processes, energy, emotion. Okay. That's the part where our spirit is meeting our soul, where we're dealing with that human versus spiritual experience. And of course, we're doing the everyday, getting in the car, going to work, living life, paying bills, raising children, dating people, whatever. We're all up in the thick of it. We're not sitting there on the clouds, sitting there in another dimension, remote viewing. So we're not always consciously aware because we haven't stepped out of time. You know, time walks through men, humans, but God's walk through time. All right. And there is a cycle here. It is a rhythmic cycle. There is a tune, a vibration. And that's what the days are. So here on Earth, our vibration is Jupiter and the sun. Those typically go around in a year. So that's the whole day, 12, 24 kind of situation. But there's another cycle here. It's Venusian in nature. Okay, that we should be tuning into. And that's the being able to have, okay, Kuan Yin's coming through. That's Venus. in Libra, kind of, the ability to endure with unconditional love. So that's Venus in Pisces. That's a yod, a God's finger. Do we have any sevens? Well, the Uranus would come through in the full card. So it's, succinctly, this cycle is about, or today's briefing is about how the universe and spirit, how the experience of ourself is here in the physical, but as spiritual beings, forces change in our consciousness experiences so that we can build up our storehouse. That's why I call this a temple card. Okay. A little bit abstract there. I know we kind of went out. But that is it. I even though this is very physical, you know, all of the physical, the lower dimensions, there's three major arcanas down here. We have the Emperor, the Temperance card, so I can't sit here and pinpoint anything because the only minor arcana is the Three of Cups, and it's talking about alignment, coming together, being on the same page. That's what the Three of Cups talks about here. And it says, through pain, shared lessons, shared journey, shared victories, moving forward clearly into new waters, leaving things behind. The Six of Swords, because there's a hidden Six of Swords here with this Four of Swords and the Two of Swords, and that's in the house of other, person, place, or thing, what the universe is about to do for us, what we yet to know, okay? Six of Swords, well, moving into calmer waters, leaving something clearly behind, accepting what's happened through scientific processes, knowing that the facts will change only when you become more open, neutral, and detached, and knowing that your answer, your outcome, your decision, your judgment will change when the facts change, not when your feelings change. Okay? What does that mean? Discernment, taking responsibility, showing up, playing an active participatory role in one's life. Why? Because this is about the storehouse. The nitty gritty of the every single day is just a blip, a drop in the ocean when we're leaving this physical experience. But since we are under the gaze of time, living in the third dimension, literally a prison of time, that's what the third dimension is. It's a simulation. It's a demonstration. The way out is to live in the land of your wildest dreams, the astral plane. What are your wildest dreams? Experience your wildest dreams. Call them forward to you. Go on the journey of creating your desire here in the physical. Step into abundance, is what Spirit is saying here. We have the Magician, the Fool card, and the Empress there in the area of what we need to do, what's knocking on the door, how we're getting it started. And that, that a Black Eyed Peas song is coming through. Let's get it started in here. So yeah, I'm totally seeing that. Step into the land of your wildest dreams. Go on the journey of your wildest dreams. Go and get what is yours. You have to get what you are here to get in this lifetime. Do not step away from yourself. Don't send your soul out there wandering, chasing, and hunting for things that you're going to outgrow the moment you get them. What is going to make your soul, your spirit dance alive inside of your body? Stepping into alignment, building foundations to go on spiritual journeys to support what your hopes, wishes, dreams, aspirations, heart's desires can manifest here in the physical, and not worrying about the nitty gritty of what's happening to you. Because yeah, it may suck today, it may hurt your feelings today, but a year from now, you're going to be laughing about it. Judgment card is saying, hey, it's going to come together. You just need some boundaries. You just need to learn a hard lesson. Accept that truth. Move on into calmer emotional waters, leaving that behind you. It happened. It got you from here to there. And you do not need to use that lesson, that journey to get from here to the next place. It doesn't even need to be clearly defined. Make any decision, make any choice, go forward in any direction as long as you're not going backwards, and you will win the exam. That's how that works. The trick is to not go backwards and don't go to a lower vibration. Again, backwards. Do not look over your left shoulder, as it says in the Bible. Okay. Notice that. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Bible, B-I-B-L-E. Ba, bell, ba-a, bell. Leave your lower self. The place where your fears, where your nightmares, where all the hoping, wishing, and praying, the yearning, the hoping for something outside of you to come and save you, that doesn't leave that. Don't look or retreat back into that place. Go clearly forward into the future and try to define what it is that you want so that it can manifest easier and you can align yourself with those vibrations. But if you don't know what you want, don't get lost in that not knowing what you don't want. I mean, don't get lost in not knowing what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. And that's the trick there.